What is up, patrons? So today I am in the middle of waiting for my battery to recharge so I can get this the video for this guy up. This is our Minoc 5. So it's a heavy A-wing, which was designed by a guy on Facebook, and who also is actually one of the subscribers on YouTube. This is his model of an A-wing, mostly his. And I did some modifications on it and changed a few things up, and I'm putting this out as a video this week. But that's not why you're here. You're here to work on... Sorry, just a sec. You're here to work on this. So I just recently picked this up from somebody off Facebook Marketplace. And my idea is to try to use as many parts as possible to try to build a couple of small droid starfighters that I'm going to call TIE Barbs, I think. B-A-R-B-S. Everything is based off of a weapon of some kind, like the javelin, the dagger, that kind of stuff. So I was trying to think of a small bladed weapon that you could use these as. And I remembered those little Christmas tree looking arrowhead looking things from Iron Man 1 that are in his bloodstream. They called them barbs at one point. I'm like, okay, I think I know what I want to do. I think I want to make some barbs. So this should be fun. We'll see if it works at all. It may not. There may be too many options here. But I thought it would be cool if I could turn this one set into a couple of different mocks, and it might make the set a little bit more valuable if you could get a couple of little TIE fighters out of it. At least for the wings. I don't want to use any more pieces for wings. I might end up using some smaller pieces elsewhere, but so in the end, I think this has got to be like my third one of these that I've gotten. I gotta think that it is, because I've gone nuts with all these different TIE fighters. It's mostly because of the wing shapes, the 4x6 wedge plates. That's really what I'm here for. All right, let's see what we got. We're just, my basic goal is just to open it all up, see what we've got. I do have a bin standing by for when the battery's done, or we're done with this little video for you. Kind of go to that point. I was going to do this as a live stream, so I apologize that it is not. Shadow Dancer, this is for you. I know we have a hard time lining up our schedule so that we can do a stream together. Really apologize for that. I guess that's just one of those things, living outside the USA, or living outside the same country as your patron recipient. Alright. So I really do just want to get the lay of the land. Want to kind of just dump them all out like a giant bin of Lego as a kid. Like when you're a little kid, or when I was a little kid at least. Just dump them all out and see what we've got, and start building. Have some fun with it. I definitely know this is at least the third one of these sets that I've gotten, because I have a lot of these Finn characters that are in this one, and a lot of these Janna characters. Not my favorite characters, but I think it's just because I have so many of them now. Alright. Let's see what we can do here. I think I probably should have opened them all so that I could access the minifigures individually. But that's alright. You live and learn. There is our Knight of Ren stuff. Got our Finn. Got our... Oh, this, I think this is Finn's as well. We've got... Oh, no, there is no Janna in this. What is the Janna in? Janna's in the X-Wing, that's right. We just have a First Order TIE Pilot, a Knight of Ren, and Finn. So that's what we got to look out for. This is definitely the Knight of Ren. Here's the TIE Pilot helmet. There's the Knight of Ren head, I mean. There's Finn. Saw his hair just a second ago, right here. He's got two expressions. He's got the happy face and the scared face. But again, we do already have quite a few of these Finns. So we're basically just putting them together so we can move on with our lives. And remove those pieces from the equation, although we could we could salvage a couple of them. A couple of the minifigure pieces if we needed to. I guess I wouldn't be totally opposed to that. Here's another pair of pants. That's for our TIE Pilot. The First Order pilot. Here's the First Order helmet. So I think we're just missing torsos. Hello, torsos. Hello. Where are you? Well, I can't be that hidden, right? They got to be somewhat close to the where the pants were. All right, I found one of them. There's the other one. Perfect. I think we've got our guys done. Put together a TIE Pilot, or First Order pilot, I mean. And then put together our Knight of Ren. And this guy just uses a big old sword. It's actually an Urukai sword. So that's cool. They really could have given this guy another expression like a slash across the face or something. That could have been cool. Yep, here's his Urukai sword. We'll take that. Always use another Urukai sword. Never too many of those. All right. Well, I guess we're going to kind of jump into it. Specialty pieces that there are only one of, we kind of want to stay away from using. So we do have this guy right here. This is the roof of a TIE fighter. I guess we could technically use a second one of these because they are pretty common now. They come in the 2021 TIE fighter set, so that's an option. We've got this windscreen, which is already scratched from the bag. It's kind of frustrating. I always like to have those in as pristine condition as possible, but it happens. Probably don't want to use that as well. We do have 4 of these, so we could split those. I wonder if maybe we could just do this by splitting the pieces in half. Do it old Solomon style. Gather up all the pieces and then cut them in half after we've figured out what we have available to us. I really do love these parts. I wish they were more readily available. I wish they came in other sets. I wish Lego didn't charge what I think is like 75 cents a piece on bricks and pieces. That's Lego's Bricklink, basically, is bricks and pieces. You can order individual parts there, including parts that you'd never be able to get anywhere else. Custom parts or parts that are hard to get anywhere. They sell them in individual parts and semi-bulk levels. It's kind of interesting because you really do see how much it costs Lego to build or to form these parts on bricks and pieces, because you're really paying just for the manufacturing of that part. So like small printed double cheese wedges are actually quite expensive. They're like 75 cents to $1, because even though they have very little plastic in them, that printing process, that extra step that they have to go through, is quite expensive. Printing on pieces is a pricey job. It's a pricey thing to have to do. So it looks like we do have a lot of these trans red pieces, which is great because we like to use those for our droid eyes if we can. So that's awesome. We're getting pretty close to wrapping up our count of all the wedge plates that are available here. Still got a few left to find. Obviously, there are red stack and black stack for the left hand sides are not coming through. Oh, there's another right hand side. So it's kind of exciting because every time we find another right hand side, we know that there's going to be a left hand side to go with it. So the more of those we can get, the better. This set definitely has a ton of these pieces, and so it makes sense that the set feels overpriced as it is, but in all reality it's probably accurate, because I mean just the sheer volume of the parts that you get out of here is just gigantic, which is one of the only reasons why I look for this set. I can't pay the full $80. It just doesn't make sense to me. I don't believe in my heart that it's worth $80. However, I have purchased many of these now on second hand, you know, from Facebook Marketplace or my local classifieds, and they go for around $40 to $50, and that seems like a pretty fair price to me, honestly. Wow, look how many of these there are. I'm gonna have to count these when we're done, because this is a ton. Look, and there's another left hand, which means we know we've got there's another left hand. So we've got 2 more right hands for sure. Got to start collecting these 6x10 plates. Very useful, actually, these 6x10s. They're a really good reinforcement for any build. Anytime you can make a large piece work in place of a smaller piece, it's always better. Oh, look at that. If you watched the last video, you know that this was one of the pieces I was short, and so I ended up having to kind of mess around and figure out some new system. And look, this set comes with, it looks like at least 6 of these things. 7, 8. Wow, that's incredible. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We got 7 here. I don't think this is an odd piece. I'm pretty sure we're gonna find an 8th somewhere in here in a minute, but we just got to clear out some space. There you go. Got all those pieces back now. Then we have some of those in gray. Got a couple of slope pieces. So if we only, oh, there they are. All right, so we do have 2 full sets of these, so we know that those can be divided equally, which is great. Found another red one here. We need still a couple of right hands in black. Whoa. These stacks are getting rather precarious because I didn't expect that there'd be so many of these. You know, you kind of forget when you haven't built it in a while. Oh, and goodness, and another left hand, which means there is another right hand somewhere. There it is. All right, and I think that is it. How many do we end up having here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. 15 different ones. And that doesn't sound right either. There should be an even number, shouldn't there? And look, there it is. There's number 16 for the right-hand side. Now we just need number 16 for the left-hand side, and I think we're golden. The reason we know it's even is because when you're building a triangle, you have to match it. It has to be exact. And then if you're building 2 of those, so you could have an odd number if you're just building 1 wing. You could have an odd number, but if you're building 2 wings, anything multiplied by 2 is automatically an even number. So it's not going to work the other way. Oh, I guess I shouldn't say that. I guess if you multiply a fraction, like a half of something, by 2, you could get an odd number. But for everybody who's saying that right now, you need to just be quiet and go play with your maths. Oh, and yes, I say maths like a British person, because that's what you're doing to me, Shadow Dancer. You're making me listen to British people on YouTube and learning more about British culture and British terminology, and it's ruining me. Obviously not really. All right, so we can actually take 8 of these and put them to one side, and then we can take 5 of these. So then we take another 8 of these, and another 5 of these, and we've started dividing up the parts, at least the crucial ones. We'll work with the other ones in a little bit. Got some plates, tons of these 1x10 plates. 1x10s or 1x12s? 1x10s. Wow, it's just a bajillion of them. I think they're for the back end of the wings. I think that's what they were mostly used for. Is for that. Well, this has officially gotten quite daunting as far as a build goes, as far as a project. So I'm just gonna gather up a couple other things here. We're gonna see what we can do with them. All right. I think one of the first things I want to do is build a droid brain that we will use as our base to build everything out from. We've got some 2x4 bricks, 2x3 bricks all over the place. Just tons of crazy stuff. Pretty cool. Look at this, 2x4 green tiles. Don't see those very often. Sorry, I'm just kind of geeking out about the pieces that are available. Every time I built one of these sets, I either scavenge it immediately or I actually built the things before, and so then I opened it bag by bag. So there's been an adventure here. Oh, see these guys? I ran out of these for my Minox squadron. So I may try to not use these in the build so that I could steal them for my Minox 1, because he needs 2 more in order to match everything that I put out in the instructions. Oh, then there's all these crazy new pointed triangular pieces. They're kind of rare, although they're becoming more and more prevalent as time goes on. I'm kind of glad I didn't invest in tons of those, because I'm not sure. I actually have not found that many places to use them. I use these guys way more often, these 2x2 wedge plates. I use those a lot more, and I mean, technically these are the same piece. So if I lay them on top of each other, you can see that the angle is the same. These ones just have that extended point, which is cool. It's a great piece, especially for my purposes, which was building all these different ones. So we have a couple different options on the droids. We could either build them so that they come off of a central pod, like the extra wings on the TIE Fighter, like would come off as little barbs, little drones. Droid drone things, or we could just build them separately. Ben, my oldest son, seemed to think that it would be better to make them just separate, that they weren't brought in on another TIE Fighter, and I think that's fine, although there were some really cool ideas with that. All right, let's see. So we've got that. Would we want that to be top or the bottom? Here we've got this guy, but I'm not sure if we have another one. I thought there would be another one of these, but it's very possible that there's not. Very, very possible. If I'm looking at the box real quick, yeah, box kind of seems like there's only going to be one of those in the middle. That's all right. That's all right, we'll survive. Got a lot of brackets, which is good. It'd be nice to be able to build a couple of these things in a slightly different way. But let's see. So if we're going to be building the wings, we're going to need a spacer. We're going to need to arrange them somehow. So we're going to go ahead and remove half of all of them. Half of the wings. Gee whiz, I hope that was half. All right, and then we're gonna see if we can build some wings out of these. I thought about having them be single wing fighters, but then double wing sounded good too. We're gonna have to play with it. So it needs to have the red outline for sure. But the question is how much. So if we put it here, that covers it up completely. If we bring it back one stud, we just have a little bit out. And then if we go 2 studs back, we have a very prominent red line, as you can see there. If we were doing this with a regular TIE fighter and we were trying to build one of these brick built outside edges, it looks like this version's 2 studs back is just slightly bigger, slightly thicker than our traditional outside border. Well, I say traditional, but it's the one that we've been using the most lately. Okay. So I am a huge fan of the one behind. I'm not entirely sure why that is. It actually makes it quite a bit more difficult to attach everything else you want to do. But the thin red line that it gives on just the edge of the TIE fighter, I think feels worth it to me. Or I'm just insane, which is also a possibility. All right, so we're gonna add that. What are we gonna need on this next one? We're gonna need probably this guy, right? It's overhang 2. Yeah, all right, I'll buy that. Ooh, buy that for $1. So then we might just cheat for a second and just stick that on there, just so we have something to anchor it to. And then we do the right side. And sorry, I need to be doing this on the camera. All right, so we get that guy on there. Not too bad. Let's throw our end pieces on. Oh, that's interesting. These actually need to be separated by 2 studs in order to work properly on the angles for the points. Good to know. Good to know. So that means that this can technically go sideways now, but we're just using it for strength structure, so I think we're going to keep it there. Then we add one of each to this, and then we can add one of each on top of those, and we've got the makings of our very own fleet. And then we can introduce ourselves as Commodore Barbosa. All right, so we'll just throw a 2x6 plate in there for now, just for strength. So we're definitely making a TIE fighter a dagger shape, that's for sure. One of the other things that they do on the main one is that they bring down these parts. That's interesting. Okay, so we can use those on the underside and just not use the points. And we might be able to get away with, we might be able to build 2 different wings with this actually. Could be fun. I think I might need to do some drawing on what a droid wing would look like. Let's see. Now we're just dinking around here for a minute. But it was just on the corner so we can get the thin line. Man, so picky. Picky. So if you guys don't rinse out their socks. As for me, I kind of like that corn chip smell. I don't hate it, but it's not my favorite. I wonder if I need to split the wing. So now I'm building a miniature Wrath. Which, hey, you know, the Wraths are cool. Let's see. Yeah, I think I probably, now that I've got it open and I'm working on it, I think I'm going to need more drawing time. I think I need to come up with a cohesive shape that I'm looking for, or a particular droid configuration that I would be interested in pursuing. Well, that's interesting. You know, you learn something new about yourself every day. I really did like using these pieces in this configuration here, because then it offsets every other one after it. So you can see this one is 2 studs different than that one. So it creates kind of a stepping effect. And because of that, we can now secure the offshoots and the edges. So that actually worked pretty good. Who could have guessed? Then we'll throw this guy on here, just for a little bit of strength, and there we go. We've got the makings of a wing. Although, again, it seems a bit forced. I think I do need to take it back to the drawing board now that I think about it, and try to work on a cohesive shape before I go any further. Which is a little frustrating, honestly. I was hoping to make some significant progress and maybe even actually just straight up build a droid starfighter out of this thing. But I don't think I'm ready. I don't think I'm ready for that. Let's just continue this forward for a little bit. Maybe there's a way we can turn it sideways and have it be a drone that flies sideways, like the Zorro, except flat. Unfortunately, I'm planning some other projects to do exactly that. So, it's not good to cannibalize your own ideas into other stuff that are also your ideas. But I guess our goal is to use them when and where they work. All right. I'm just going to try to put this together right at the end, just to make it a little more cohesive structurally. See what kind of shaping we can get out of it. Okay, so that's interesting. So this actually ties on too, because that's where the rest of these guys are going to go. Because these are actually going to go like here and here, then on the underside over there, but we want to get these on first. So we'll attach that and its partner right here. So we could do the sideways wing thing. I'm not loving it though. I'm kind of leaning more towards making this droid an interceptor, where it's got a split wing idea. I think we could do that with just the parts from the set, but I could be wrong. Very easily could be wrong. So take that with a dash of salt and potpourri. All right, so now we're down to our last of these black angles. By doubling up on those, going top and bottom, we have inadvertently used the last of them. But we are going to go ahead and throw on these guys, because we do know we have enough divided between the two if we back them up with these instead of the points. So there is a wing shape. We may want to split it and make it like a small starfighter thing, or maybe we just slap these guys on top and build a little droid brain and some cannons on it and call it good. Well, it's because we want to know exactly what we can do, not just, well, what am I trying to say? We're trying to do a good job. Above all, I want to do a good job. So I think I'm going to ruminate on this a little bit longer. Sorry, I know this is definitely anticlimactic shout-out answer. I apologize. And I know I'm rambling a little bit. I am pretty tired. It is midnight where I am, and I still have a video to do on Minoc number 5. So Maybe we'll make some more progress. Hopefully I'll be able to share that progress next week with you. I'm taking a little bit of time off for the Memorial Day weekend. It's a holiday here in the US. And so I'm taking advantage of the time off to go with the family to a cabin of sorts. So should be fun. Just gotta get some sleep and finish the video, and hopefully I'll have some drawings from the vacation in the meantime. So thank you so much, Shadow Dancer. Again, apologize that it wasn't such a fantastic experience. We did learn a lot about what we have available here, though. We even have some leftover of these guys, which we could use in other parts of the build. So that'll be great. But until we catch you next time for a Patreon update, play well. See ya.